on dissection sheet 2, which is focusing on our thoracic cavity. And so before I show you the inside of the cat, I'm going to kind of put my cat together and show you where I made my cut. So using the scissors, I would cut along the side, and you could choose whichever side, left or right, you'd like. So you're going to go down, and then you would kind of pry it open. Now obviously it opened a lot easier because I've been doing this a little bit. And then obviously you can see here that we had to cut through some of the ribs. So when you're looking inside here, you're going to notice that you have your lungs, you have here, you have your heart, and then right here you have the diaphragm. So those are easily structures that you can easily see. Notice one of the questions on your dissection sheet was how many lobes of the lung for right versus left. So the right lung is going to have 4 lobes, and your left lung, so this is your right lung, and then this is your left lung. Right lung has 4 lobes, and your left lung has 3 lobes, okay? This is your heart. Notice here on the heart, this right here that I'm holding up, this is fat. So if I really wanted to, I could remove the fat. So some people say they have a fatty heart. It is true. We all have a little bit of fat on ours. Some have more than others. And then the next thing I want to focus on is this right here. Okay, this is a pericardium. It is a protective covering around the heart. Everyone has one as long as you haven't had open heart surgery. When you have open heart surgery, they do have to cut through this, and they do not put it back together. So that protective barrier kind of is lost then. Another thing I want to show you about the heart, so a couple structures we talked about. Everyone can see this vein right here, it's blue, and it's also kind of have some stuff on it, but this right here, this is your superior vena cava. And then if I scroll down here, open up the lungs, your inferior vena cava is right here. Okay, so that is really neat to see that you can see it attached as well. Okay, so I have just removed the heart. So I cut up here near the superior vena cava, and then I cut down and included some of the inferior vena cava. So when I pull out the heart, obviously it took a little bit more than just that, but you can see it. I also removed the fat and the pericardium. So now, and then I also made a slit using the scalpel so I can open up the heart to see the ventricles. So if I'm looking here at the heart, I'm going to see here, this is going to be my right atrium, and then here is going to be my left atrium. The other cool thing about this heart that we see is that it has a really good aorta right here. And you can see that also in where it came from. So so if this was my right atrium and this is my left atrium, when I open it up, so same thing, right ventricle, left ventricle on the inside, okay? So that is the heart, and you can still see your inferior vena cava and your superior vena cava. One last thing I want to note before we end is that you can also note that the trachea is here, and then your esophagus is here. So this is going back to dissection sheet 1 when we removed our esophagus and trachea, but this is where the tubes go, and that they would continue down into the heart and then going down into your abdominal cavity. So that is the conclusion of dissection sheet 2.